So, Chuck, are we going to have to do that before we get started with the live feed, or we just got to figure this out?
Send them a link before we do our live feeds.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So there we go. So we can try that another day then. Let me and set that up. What do you think, Chuck?
Maybe we'll have to test it out.
Test it out. Okay.
And welcome back to JP, Kathy, and the crew. We had a little bit of an interruption there, but we're back on. We're testing out our ability to bring people physically on the screen with us during our podcast, as well as phone calls. So we're testing those out today. Our official launch is it a week from today?
Yes.
My goodness gracious. So we're very excited. Again, we're broadcasting live from our new studio. Super excited at VentureX here in Frisco. Phenomenal facility. And we're just so excited to be part of the team out here.
Now, did Dr. Good jump back on yet?
I do not know.
There's Courtney again. I love her. Did I tell you that, by the way?
Yes, you did. And you did say what did you say? You're a emotional what? No, what?
I am a I am a
you said hopeless romantic. Okay.
Yeah, she has to deal with that.
I don't think too many girls are going to complain about that.
That's a lot. Well, I don't know. It's a lot. That's for sure. Dr. Good. We want to watch for Dr. Good to jump back on.
Okay, and I think because we've got we've got 3 Facebook feeds going, plus YouTube, plus several different things. We'll show you how we're going to have a chat where they all come together, and we'll let Charles educate people about how to get into that chat at another time.
Well, and also we are very friendly for those who are hearing impaired. We have our closed captioning.
Yes, that's right.
Good job, Chuck.
That's automatic with YouTube.
Oh, it is? Oh, we were trying to give you
Chuck
props.
Charles, I mean, yeah,
epic
fail.
We were trying. Oh, epic fail. That's so old school. That's so extra.
I love that though.
Okay,
you're not extra.
Those are all.
I'm not adding fries.
Those are all out of date. Oh, that's not what extra means.
Yeah, well, it does now.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
it's back to me.
No.
So, Michelle and Gail, if you're wondering what happened when we tried to invite or send a link out to invite somebody, it dropped our feed. So we're going to have to send the links out ahead of time to people when they're going to come in on the show. But what we wanted to show you was that we will actually bring somebody in, like Dr. Dave, for example. We'll bring him in from the hospital.
Yeah, he'll be in his scrubs in the emergency room and talking about COVID or whatever the topic of the day is. So, and we can have people from other parts of the state. We can have people from around the world. I know Dr. Good has teachers that she is in regular communication with, educators all across the country, or I'm sorry, all across the world, from Spain and from different places. So we'll be able to bring people. If you have a show with us, you'll be able to do it. Or if you want to be part of our show, anybody is welcome at this point. And that's what's so cool. And that's kind of this big paradigm shift we're making, which is, okay, now we're not just limited to who can come in studio.
You can go anywhere.
I mean, we're borderless, I guess.
We are borderless.
We're worldwide.
Correct.
We worldwide www?
Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
Yeah, World
Wide Web?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't know.
You really went south.
I don't know. I was trying to sound hip and like I knew what I was talking about, and there you go.
Well, just keep liking my butt, and you'll stay hip.
No, and I've got to go back and see what the heck you're talking about.
You said you thought I had an adorable butt.
No, I did not say
sweet.
that. No, I did not say that.
You did. I heard you.
No.
So, anyways, Battle of the Sexes. Back to the Battle of the Sexes. I think Tad breaks it down nicely. It's based on your influences. I think that, and this is my opinion, and feel free to smack me around, I guess. Hey, Don Blackwell, welcome. The truth of it is that it really is based on how you're brought up and who raises you. With so many broken homes, so much going on with social media.
Especially nowadays. It was different back when you and I were kids. You know, it was like, hey kid, go outside and come back by dinner. You know, and it was a different world. Now, I wonder how this next generation is going to effectively communicate with people, especially with their spouse and with their children, because they've grown up with this.
Well, just imagine though, from 2020, 20 years from now.
Holograms.
Well, the people leading our country are going to be kids homeschooled by people that were drinking.
Oh, day drinking.
Yeah, fine. And getting drunk. So good luck to us. Again, Rondo is not far away. But Battle of the back to the Battle of the Sexes. So here's where I go with this. Again, the question is, if you're just now joining us, the question was, who wants a deeper relationship? Men, A, women, B, men, C, none of the above. And so my response is that the way that boys and girls are being raised and brought up nowadays, there almost seems to be a flip of how it used to be. For example, more men are cooking and taking care of the domestic household than there are women.
Oh, and that's been
Per
a
ratio.
trend. Yes.
From back, I'm
Yep.
talking from back from the 40s, let's say.
Oh, the 50s and
All the way
60s.
through
That was not heard
2000.
of. Right.
Through
Yeah.
2000. More men are domesticated, and which is not a bad thing. But they're in the kitchen. They're the ones doing the laundry. Doug is pointing himself.
Okay, so you're a part of that generation. Well, think about it, because did you grow up with a 2-person household?
Now remember, we don't have Doug on the
Oh,
camera.
okay. Oh, that's right. Oh, Doug's gonna have to. We're gonna have to invite him
have
to
to
come
mic
on.
Doug.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Oh, yeah. We've got an extra
Yeah, we
mic
got
right
an
here.
extra
Come on.
mic and chair, so let's
because
put Doug on here with
what
us.
I'm seeing is people
over
who
here,
are
Doug.
people who are my age and a little bit
Love that-
younger
hey, love that phasing out stuff you just
and
did,
a
Chuck.
little bit older.
Charles.
Charles, we love all the
Love
camera.
that.
Like, how cool
Again,
is that?
hey, for Charles, if you want to see what he's doing
Yes.
here, I mean, we're on the fly here. Info at pro-multis.com. Info at pro-multis.com. And also, you're going to start seeing some hellacious PR stuff coming out. And that's going to be from
We've got
Frameworks
Corley.
with Corley Randolph.
Yep. So, hit
anyways,
Frameworks up, like it on
so
Facebook.
Battle of the Sexes. Doug, go ahead and throw it out
Yep.
there, man.
So my mom and dad are still married to this day.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
so, but dad needs to have cook for him. Right?
Okay.
Mom
Different
has to fix
generation.
dinner, right?
Different
Dinner.
generation, yep.
I got a brother. But for me, my wife is working, and I'm a little more flexible, so I find myself cooking dinner. I'm cooking quesadillas, or I'm cooking on the grill, and then I make the food and leftovers
do you
for
have
lunch.
Uber Eats available? Because that all sounds good.
My son delivers for DoorDash, as a matter of fact.
There
But
you
anyway,
go.
yeah. So that's my 2 cents on. I love to cook, and we clean jointly. It's not like her job's to clean and my job's to bring in the bread. and butter.
Everybody works. And see, and I think that comes from, Doug and JP, I think that comes from a place where people around my age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, a lot of us had both parents working. And so if both parents worked, then you learned how
Split
to,
it
the
gotta
kids
split it
were
up.
involved in the chores. I had a dear friend who both his parents worked until 6 o'clock. Well, he got home from school at 4. Guess who was doing the meal prep to get ready for dinner to be cooked, or cooking dinner, or folding laundry?
Well, the kids are a whole nother story, because I was expected to do the chores and didn't argue about it. But we
Didn't
kinda,
argue about
we kind
it,
of
yeah.
pamper our kids now, and I gave my kids yesterday some chores.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I go,
Like, what-
I'm
what is
working. Actually, I
this?
know it's Sunday, but I'm working, and my wife is relaxing. So you kids, trash, vacuum, steam clean, go.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly. But I think with the men and women, I think that's another way that men, maybe if they aren't super emotional, JP, I think the men who take care of their wives by doing the chores and by doing stuff like that, so the wife doesn't have to. I think that's another way of maybe not emotionally reaching out, but I think that's a way to show your loved one how much you care.
Yeah, I actually do that for that exact reason. She's working her butt off,
There you go.
I'm helping out.
getting verklempt
Oh,
here. And so
love
I try
it.
to do what I can
Yeah,
to make her
no,
feel
See.
better.
amen. Absolutely, Doug.
and that's
Absolutely,
the right thing to do.
See, and again, and that's going to be a
I
battle
love
of the
that.
sexes question, by the way. Men are crying more. Men are
I
more
can't help it.
emotional.
I'm like, golly, thanks, Dad. You gave me the emotional gene. I'll just sit here and start
Right.
crying. I'm like,
But
"Ah."
there's
So it's
nothing
a-
to
well,
apologize
'cause I do it
about.
all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing to apologize
I do it all the
about.
time. I listen to music and I'll start crying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so it's amazing. But here's where I'm going with all of this, I guess, is that the roles have flipped and have been building up. On television, you see more male chefs than you do female.
Interesting.
Think about it, right? The shows that are about food, more men are the hosts than females.
Interesting.
And it just
I never
is.
really thought about it, but it's true. Chef
It-
Ramsay, you got
Yeah,
even the prophet. who was a
Yeah, I
chef,
mean that's
and-
Well-
even like Cake Boss and stuff. Isn't that
That's
a dude?
right. That is a dude.
Yeah. So
So what was it? Julius Childs was,
and then back in the day, that was it.
Right?
That was it.
And the Louisiana cooking guy. Remember the guy with the suspenders? God, what was his name? He was
Ding, 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 ding.
Louisiana Kitchen.
guarantee.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
he was way good.
so I think that
So,
it's
hold on before you.
Yeah.
I got to finish it though.
Yeah.
No more coffee for you.
as
Alcohol.
I reach for it.
Alcohol and a cigar. That'll slow us both down.
Oh,
We'll mellow out a
not
little
me. Second I start drinking,
Crown Black would be great. Right,
Yeah, right about now. Right?
the second I start drinking, show tunes come out.
Okay. Well, but I like that too.
Great.
So, but here's my thing. My thing is this: is that I've watched a trend. I've watched a trend with kids when I had them coming through court, and my mother's comment was, "I'm going to make you a super good wife to a woman one day." Because I could do it all. I sew, I iron, I clean, I cook, I decorate, love to shop. And so my mother always said, you're a half a gene away from being a woman. And
Well,
that's how I built
when you lived on? Did you live on your own before you got married? So did you have to do these things by yourself?
I did.
And did you do as good a job then as you did?
Oh, gosh, yes. Because I like that nice, tidy
Clean
house.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
Bring
everything
home
had
the
to be
bacon
tidy.
too.
Yeah.
And fried up
Yeah.
in the pan.
Yeah. Hey, Todd, how are you? Fred, how are you? So the bottom line is, when I asked that question, in my opinion, because the roles have begun to shift and begun to change, to me it seems like men have become deeper than women. Women have gotten busier. Because not
Well,
only
women have
are-
always been busy.
Well, but let me finish.
Let's clear the record.
No, let me finish. You liked my butt. Now let me finish.
No. No,
So,
I
where? Oh, you don't like my butt?
No, I don't
like
know where
your
you
butt.
got.
Said
I
it,
don't know
cute
where
little
you
butt.
got
Just
that
said it.
from.
Yeah, I heard her say it. Wow.
Which
Now it's out.
flip-flopper.
Now it's there forever.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, though, is where I'm going with this is that women have gotten busier. By what do I mean? They've decided they wanted a career, but a lot of men aren't kicking in and helping out like a Doug or myself. So they're coming home and also dealing with the home stuff as well. Not just able to come home, drop the briefcase, walk in, the kids are bathed, ready for bed, dinner's on the table.
Children are seen, not heard. Back in the 50s,
Right.
and the wife greets you with pearls and a
Right.
freshly
A
ironed dress.
cocktail. Let your man have time to read the paper.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that,
So,
that
but-
world doesn't exist anymore.
But that's my
Sometimes
point,
I
though.
wish it did.
Well, but here's the other problem, right? This thing right here.
Oh, well, and I
Everybody's
wonder.
walking through the door on this thing
Well,
right
and
here.
JP, I wonder, and again, that's why I wonder how this next generation, the people who are like, 28, the 25 or 30 years old and below right now, how will their marriages look? They might look very different than those of us who
They
had our
already do.
childhood in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
They already do. I can tell you about Katerina and Robert.
Yeah.
And their
that's your
marriage-
daughter.
That's my
Yep.
daughter. Their marriage is very different.
Hi, Katerina. We love you.
We were talking about the other day, talking about electronic time and video
Right.
game time, right?
Versus husband and wife time.
Right. And I'm talking to my daughter about it, and she's playing a video game in the bedroom. Robert is next to her in the bedroom playing a video game on a separate console.
Right.
Okay. And I'm like, do you guys ever talk? She goes, well, yeah. I'm like, but you guys are always playing video games or you're at work. And she goes, well, yeah, but we're in the room together. We're hanging out. So basically for this generation, and it seems like
Right.
we eat a meal together. We go to work. We come home. We're on our electronic devices or our game consoles playing.
Right.
We have sex. We go to bed.
What?
Okay.
What is this?
What are
You
we
do-
talking about? This sex thing? Yeah, because they still procreate.
Oh.
It
I was
happens.
gonna say, please tell me this generation will. Yeah,
we
please
go.
tell me this generation will continue on. Well, it's just very different. So, if that's their expectation, it's very different than our generation.
Very much so.
Because if I'm having a conversation with my husband, and especially if it's something like if I'm talking about something new with our new venture, our new JP Kathy and the Crew show, I want full attention. And also in like a business meeting, and this is what's interesting with me, when I've done business with millennials versus people my own age and older. Millennials will still be taking calls
They'll
and
half
texts.
listen.
Yeah, but then I'm like, so does that make sense? And then they regurgitate everything I've said, and I'm like, how did you get that? Because you were,
it's a communication thing. I want to feel heard, so nodding, and when my wife's on her phone and I'm watching it. There was a time
You
when
want
I
the
was
visual.
addicted to the laptop and
Yep.
everything, but recently I'm 51.
Yeah.
So I'd say in the last 4 or 5 years, I've chosen to come home and not. If I'm sitting in the living room,
Yep.
I want to just watch TV and visit. I don't
Yep.
want to do this now. When I go upstairs and work, or I come here to VentureX,
Well,
I'm focused.
Then it
and
is what
working.
it is, right? Because this is a necessary evil in the business world. It is what it is. But I think there's just been so many changes with the phone. So I think it's going to depend on who you're talking with and who you're in the relationship with. And I think something that we've always had to work on, as partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, significant others, husbands and wives, is what, and this is something you're real big on, JP, and that's what is your love language? What is your communication style? And I think those have to be clearly outlined. Because I'm one of those, now am I going to turn down, a nice piece of jewelry? No, I mean, I wouldn't, but that's not my thing. I want somebody to say something nice to me.
Acts of service.
Yeah, well, no, not even acts of service. I'm not going to turn down a clean
Open
house.
the door for you.
Well, I love all that. And that's that's another, as a matter of fact, Doug, you just gave us our next topic for Battle of the Sexes. Or if you're a woman, do you like a man to still open the door, pull out the? We got to do that.
Don't.
Or shake your hand.
But
like
my
this,
thing
like
is,
this.
mine's the
Right.
words. I want somebody to say you're a good person, you're special. I like you because of this.
Yeah.
It's that verbal. And my dad says it best. Once I got older and I was like, well, I've got money now. I can buy you a birthday present. What do you want? A kind word and a smile.
So 2 more minutes on this topic, and we're going to shift topics.
And I tell you what, a kind word and a smile goes a long way.
Now, the reason why the crew got to hear that is because we don't have any commercial breaks built in yet. Normally, there'd be a commercial break, and we would transition.
Yes.
And so I'm letting Kathy know we got 2 minutes on this topic, and we're moving.
And this is where Doug goes, thank you for letting me be here.
Doug, thanks
well,
for being
thank you,
here.
and he'll be back because he's out here at VentureX. So come on out and meet him.
Yep. So
Thanks, Doug.
just to kind of finish up where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is I think that men want a deeper relationship. I think that women are experiencing what men of the 50s and 60s experienced, which was a much busier lifestyle because they're now doing a career lifestyle and a home lifestyle and trying to balance relationship and trying to balance hobbies. Whereas in the 50s and 60s, it was the man having the career, the man having the hobbies, the man having poker night or whatever, then coming home to the kids and wife and needing to make sure he gave quality time there. Whereas the woman was extremely busy being the CEO of the household.
So you think men across the board?
I wouldn't say correct because there's some pigs out there.
I was going to say there are a lot of ladies who are going to say my husband doesn't give me the time of day emotionally.
Right. No, there are a lot of pigs out there.
Or not even pigs.
No, there are a lot of
yes,
pigs
there
out
are,
there. No, there are a lot of pigs out there.
but not. It's also. I think women,
One
because we're nurturers and because we're the ones who have the babies, I think we're more in touch with our feelings and emotions. Plus, women will also talk with other women.
Absolutely.
And that's where you have that emotional connection. As a guy, if you start talking with another guy, well, heck, Sid Smith, who's a friend of the show, who's a member of the crew, he said that he was going to pull your man card if you tried to talk to him about lovey-dovey stuff.
Right.
So I think there's a combination out there.
Well, I just think men want a little deeper relationship.
And I know that's you. I know you do.
I do. Boy, do I not.
Hopeless romantic.
They dive deep.
Hashtag hopeless romantic.
They
JP.
dive deep. All right. So, next topic, baseball. Baseball's fired off, right?
Yes.
There are certain teams that I absolutely will not watch play baseball now.
Right. So
It's not gonna happen.
I tell you,
We'll
and
do the best we
it's
can.
going to be
We
the
may
it's
have to
going
Wednesday.
Okay, it's going to be interesting as far as what we do with sports, which we're both ginormous sports fans, huge. But I tell you what, if everybody's going to take a knee and everybody's going to use this time when we've not had sports for so long to make a political statement, I'm done. I get enough of that in my political life.
Right. Well, here's my thing. My thing is this. I love baseball. Covered the World Series.
Yep.
Unbelievable, right? My epicenter for life. So here's my issue. Again, and I don't care. This has nothing to do with a movement. Why are we taking a knee during the national anthem? I'm not a fan. Somebody posted on Facebook, if you don't understand it, then you're an idiot. No, I'm not an idiot. You see, I go beyond idiocracy. Taking a knee during the national anthem is idiocracy. The national anthem celebrates the men and women that serve in the military and what they do for this country. Here's my issue. When they call your name, center fielder Jose Perez for the Pittsburgh Pirates, why don't you step up to home plate and take a knee? Why are you running out, raising your hand with your glove, looking all proud? Why don't you take a knee?
And so you're saying if you're really all about it, then why don't you do it on the way out to your position?
They just called you out, giving you fame and fortune.
And in the camera and all eyes are on you.
Take a knee. Rather than running out
That's interesting.
there,
That's
why
interesting.
aren't you taking a knee then?
Very interesting.
Pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Fernando Valenzuela. Step out of the dugout, take a knee. Cameras are on you. Everybody's paying attention to you. Why the national anthem? Here's my second thing. and I'm going to go off on this. I love this. I will become a forever Oakland A's fan now. Outfielder Chris Davis and Tony Kemp, they didn't take a knee during the national anthem. You know what they did? And I'm all about this. I'm going to call it the Jesse Owens move. Anybody know what the Jesse Owens move was? Anybody old enough to remember Jesse Owens?
You've talked about it on the show multiple times.
Bam. Fist up in the air. Jesse Owens, when he took the stage during
the
Nazi
Olympics,
Germany, during the World War II, black gloved, up in the air. I'm all about it. I love that. That's solidarity. That says I recognize my veterans. I recognize my country. I recognize, and it's my country. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's kind of like family, right? We've got those family members that are just, they're jerks. We love them, but you ready for this? I'll mess with them, but you better
can't.
not.
And that's what I wish.
better
I
not
wish
mess
we
with
would see that as a country, JP. That's such a good point and such a great analogy. You know, I can. You're right. I can bust chops on a family member, but if somebody outside of my family tries to do that, oh boy, howdy, you don't even want a piece of me then. So that's one of those things that why aren't we protecting our fellow Americans and just putting positive things out there about each other?
Exactly.
Lifting each other up.
So
we need it.
Here's the deal. You ready for this? The Oakland Athletics, not a single member kneeled.
Oh, very good. I did not know that.
I will be an Oakland Athletic fan and watch every game.
There
they
you
play.
go.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Send ball caps to VentureX.
My team, LA Dodgers.
Your team.
They didn't. They knelt. They can kiss my butt. Bottom line is this. I agree with taking that fist up there and protest. Now I recognize that you have respect for your country, but you're not happy with the way things are. You want to see change, so you make a motion to do so. Taking a knee, I don't get it. Don't understand it. All you did was make Kaepernick famous and Nike to sign him to a $100 million contract.
Yeah.
And here's what's funny. Let me finish real quick.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell in the NFL has said, oh, we all now love Kaepernick and we apologize. We're sorry we didn't catch it sooner. And still, Kaepernick signed with anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody know if Kaepernick has signed with anybody?
Well, again, he was a mediocre player at best. He did this as a PR. This was a PR ploy. And again, we've talked about this, and we don't have time to give props to some of the players who have done this. But there are a number of players who have done amazing things with nonprofits that they've brought to fruition themselves, or nonprofits that they are part of, and they're making a difference in the community. They're making sure, Boys and Girls Club, all different kinds of organizations that they're helping out with, or they're starting. NFL still has a huge issue with domestic violence. Yep. So there are people who went out there and put their money where their mouth is. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. And doggone it, you know what? Let us be entertained right now, especially with COVID. We need sports to take us away from the everyday thing that you can catch every 2 seconds on the news.
Well, Kaepernick signed a partnership deal with Disney.
Yeah, that's right. I won't be watching Disney anymore.
Okay, darn it, Baby Yoda. Okay,
yeah, sorry, no more Baby Yoda. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, Jamie. All right. So, bottom line is that I'm all about what they did in Oakland. Fist up in the air, didn't take a knee, respected their country, respected the people that had defended the freedom of this country. Again,
who have died, giving them the freedom to have free speech.
You may not like what you see, but you don't beat each other up. You defend your own country, by golly.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it goes.
And here's the thing, in sports, there is nowhere else, no other country in the world that you can go and have this kind of an option like you have here in America.
We're going to go a few minutes over today. Chuck, let's go a few minutes over
Since
today.
we had a little snafu in the middle.
We started
a couple minutes late.
Oh, okay, then good.
So, because I want to mention Regis Philbin. Let's go
yes.
As a
matter of fact, let me pull this.
And that's the beauty of us. We have the ability to do that with this format.
This is so great. So Regis Philbin, legendary television host, dies at 88. His family and friends are forever grateful for the time that they got to spend with him, for his warmth, his legendary sense of humor, his singular ability to make every day into something worth talking about. That's what the family shared with People magazine. A longtime television host died on July 24th. They're deeply saddened that their beloved Regis Philbin passed away last night of natural causes, 1 month shy of his 89th birthday, his family shares. And I tell you what, he was the kind of person where never met him, never was even in, never even got to go to one of his shows. And he had a plethora of amazingly talented successful shows because of his talent. But when I heard he died, I was really sad because I felt like I knew him. He's one of those that you could see him talk, on one of his shows, or even when he was just interacting with guests on like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you would leave and you felt like he was your friend. And so he had this uncanny ability to make people feel like they were part of his life, even if they weren't. And I don't think God puts many people like this on this earth. And I'm just, brokenhearted for his family, but it sounds like he passed away with his family surrounding him. He passed peacefully. And just thank you, Regis Philbin, for your gift of graciousness, talent, humility, and the ability to put a smile on everybody's face and make people feel like they were your friend.
Absolutely. All right. I want to thank all of the crew.
Yes.
For Friday's show by itself, we are now somewhere near a little over 1,200. So very excited about that.
And that's just on Facebook feeds. That doesn't count on all the other
platforms.
All the
other social media platforms. If you're wondering, hey, on John Edward Payton, I didn't see you comment, JP, until now. Well, I had to flip over. So I was at JP Kathy and the Crew's feed, where a lot of people were commenting, and now I flipped over to John Edward Payton, where some people are at, and I'm up there talking to people now there as well. So, again, that's one of the beauties of having your own show with us. You can use our live Facebook feeds.
Yes.
You can use yours. We can run
your business, a nonprofit,
three
whatever
different
it
live
is.
feeds at a time, down to then over 40 social media patterns. We're on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 1. We will run recaps on Tuesday morning at 7, and then again at noon. Wednesday show will be live. Wednesday morning we will run recap as well. So you have your 7 o'clock JP, Kathy, and the Crew fix. Kathy and I will be on there to chat with you and talk with you. And then again, picking it back up again on Thursday, the same thing. Friday, 12 to 1 live again. And so if you'd like to advertise with us, it is. You can email us at jpkathyandthecrew3@gmail.com, or you can go on our social media and private message us, like many of you have already had. A great discount for if you sign up right now.
Right, if you're part of the crew and you get on early.
If you sign up right now, Catherine Ann, you like my butt.
No, I'm in trouble.
You like my butt.
Well, you just said
you're
Catherine
okay.
Ann.
You were in trouble, but you like my butt, so we're okay.
No, I don't know where you're getting this from.
I just know you do. No, so you say you don't? Interesting. Wow. So now you've just hurt my self-esteem.
You're micro and macro aggressive. Somebody get
Absolutely.
free hot chocolate and pizza for JP after the show.
If you look
at
at the screen, you can see our Facebook or our email address, jpkathyandthecrew3@gmail.com. So if you sign up for 3 months with us, let's say you want to do your own show. You get one show a week, an hour, if you want to do a show every day. Of course, we got to sit down and we got to talk and find out what that's about. But for now, 1 hour a week, you want to do your own show. For a month, it's normally $500. If you sign up for 3 months with us today, it's $250 per month. So
right.
50% discount. And we're going one step further. And we haven't determined yet how many minutes of advertising.
Right.
But if you advertise with us or have a show with us, and we've got 8 minutes of advertising, we are going to give you 4 minutes. That's 100% your own profit.
And you sell that, your 100% commission, your own. So you can get somebody to sponsor your show. Of course, you can utilize, if you're here local, you can utilize the VentureX studio, which we highly recommend. You can do it from your own place, from your own home if you've got some COVID issues. So we've got all kinds of options. You can do it. We've got somebody who's going to be right outside of Austin, Texas, doing a show about the Constitution. So super excited.
Super excited. So, and then, of course, JP, Kathy, and the Crew will keep the other 4 minutes for our cost and expenses. But we're going to give you 4 minutes. You can sell it as 30-second spots, 60-second spots, and that can pay for your show each month. And so sign a 3-month contract with us, give you a 50% discount, $250 a month, give you your own 4 minutes of advertising, and plus we play your recap. So you get a lot of benefits. You get 3 live feeds that will then shoot down into 40 plus different social media sites. We are excited. I can tell you that right now. And it's not the coffee, it's the good company.
Even though there is good coffie here.
Well, it is, but it's the good company and it is the crew.
It is, and we love the crew. And you're the reason we ventured out on this new adventure called JP, Kathy, and the Crew, and we're super excited.
For all your consulting needs, get with Charles Gura at info@pro-multis.com. That is info@pro-multis.com. And then for all your PR needs, frameworks with Corley Randolph. And of course, we'll have all their information on our pages as well. So, and Sue
Have
Kirk,
a blessed day.
thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Hope everybody else
And
enjoyed
Misty,
the
thank
show
you
as
for
well.
tuning in.
And if you're
Dad.
wondering why isn't this a refined product, we didn't want to show you the refined product yet. The refined product will be August the 3rd.
Okay,
this
sure.
is the behind the scenes.
Maybe.
This is the behind the scenes. We're building it. We're figuring it out. Miss Keys called in and helped us out. We can't thank her enough for calling
Yeah.
you. Doug tried to help us out today
And Doug
as well.
came on screen.
He came on string.
This is part of his
or
gig, so.
string. Tell us what kind of music you'd like to hear us bring in and go out with. We'd love to get your input on that as well. Battle of the Sexes every Monday. Thank you for participating in Battle of the Sexes today. And if you've got to live with me or Kathy,
Yeah, good luck.
Good
Good
luck
luck.
with that.
We're just little small increments.
so we will see you
love the
on
crew.
Wednesday, 12 o'clock.
Have a blessed day.
See y'all later.